Hey everyone, before we get into the video, just a quick shout out to my friend Matthew Rhodes. He's got his book out, Virtual Requiem. You can buy it from Amazon, link is in the description below. Go check it out. Right, on with the video. How's it going everyone? Welcome back to another video. And well, it seems the tears from the ponies are out in full force. They have gone on a rampage. I mean, they are down in the dumps. And what can I say? It was in their hands. All they had to do was buy games. You know, the thing that they complain that Xbox gamers don't do, but yet they don't do either. And those poor sales from PS5 exclusives, it's been good for Sony because it's helped attract customers, but clearly Square Enix has other ideas. And if you haven't heard from their last call, it seems the PlayStation 5 exclusives from Square Enix, the games that they've been pushing out in hopes to appeal to that big audience, well, Sony has done them a solid in completely and utterly screwing them over. In fact, it's so bad that they almost haven't, in fact, I don't even think they've hit a single target when it comes to their exclusive games. 16 didn't hit their target, 7 Remake didn't hit their target, Rebirth didn't hit their target, and Rebirth did even worse than Remake and 16. It's just not going well for Square Enix right now, who has been experimenting with a lot of games, but all of this downturn from Sony has proven to Square Enix that putting your eggs into one basket and constantly bending the knee to Sony has not paid off, and in fact, it has been detrimental to their success. And now they have finally decided, you know, despite how much Genki here, who has been saying that the games have been a monumental success, they've been runaway successes, they've made a lot of money for Square Enix. Clearly, all of that was fluff, as the game just simply hasn't done well. And we've been saying this for a while, right? We've been saying this for a while. And if you have been saying it for a while too, well, what you need to do is hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell to stay up to date of all content I release. Of course, that is a shameless plug, but off we go. Now, as you can see here, it says Square Enix announced a shift to their multi-platform strategy as part of their new business plan. The group will aggressively pursue a multi-platform strategy that includes Nintendo platforms, PlayStation, Xbox, and PCs. Now, this is referring to more or less day and date, especially in regards to major franchises. We're talking Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Kingdom Hearts, and AAA titles, including catalog titles. Now, what it means here by catalog titles is previous games, and of course what they're referring to here clearly is Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 7, Pixel Remaster. So there's a lot of games there that they've been talking about, and this is all part of that stream. Now, as you can see here, I posted Final Fantasy games should now come day and date to everything capable. I say capable because if it's not capable of running the games, it's just not going to be there. And obviously, everyone is loving this meme at the moment. Everyone liked that. It's a good meme. But it goes to show that the current plan from Square Enix to just ride off of Sony's back isn't working. And, you know, what we've said all along, that PlayStation fans just don't buy games, they don't buy these franchises, well, it's turned out to be true. And the only way a multi-platform studio should be going is multi-plat. Now, obviously on my title, I said they're going multi-plat because, and it sounds weird, but considering how many exclusives they do, and whether it's timed or full-time exclusive is irrelevant. You'd expect a multi-platform studio, if they want to make money, would learn, but they haven't. And even if you look at Sega, with their Persona series, they learned that releasing the game worldwide at the same time like Persona 5 actually made them more money. And that is why they're doing the same thing with Persona 6, even though there are rumors right now that Microsoft could be making Persona 6 timed exclusive. But Sega and Microsoft's relationship seem to be really, really good at the moment, so maybe there's a thing there. But at the end of the day, if you want to make a lot of money, you need to make sure that you're going to be compensated for that if the game does bad. And clearly, Square Enix relied on the success of PlayStation in order to guarantee that money, and it didn't work. In fact, it failed. It failed historically. And it's a shame because Final Fantasy is a beloved franchise and one that a lot of people love. But for it to continuously lose favor on a platform where people just don't want to play it anymore is kind of disappointing. Now we've got this one over here from Takashi Mochizuki. Square Enix basically confirmed my reporting. Its AAA games failed to meet profit expectations. Now that's the biggest one here. So the games may have made profit, but there's an expectation on certain franchises on how much minimum profit they expect for the amount of effort for it to be worthwhile. And it just didn't meet those targets. None of them have. They scrapped the business unit, focus on quality over quantity. So the business unit was the one that basically came out with a lot of these niche titles. I'm really hoping that Square Enix hasn't completely done away with those, because though they don't really bring in the biggest earning revenue, they are still great games and do deserve people's interest and people's money, and it's good for those people that actually want to play those. Now, the focus on quality over quantity simply means that they are going to invest way more in AAA gaming, and as I've been saying all along, the need for AA is there, but the community right now, the public, simply want AAA all the time, and it's unsustainable. And I'm not sure if this is the right approach for Square Enix to go full-time AAA. I think it's a risky. I think this is even more risky than what they're doing right now, but time will tell. But to release its top-tier games, like I was saying, Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Kingdom Hearts, on a wider variety of games, including Nintendo platforms, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. So, the whole notion of the exclusivity is just dead. And now we've got push over here, Square Enix to aggressively pursue multi-platform strategy from now on. And it says say goodbye to those PS5 exclusives, because they just don't sell. People don't want them on the PS5. Square Enix has confirmed in a new medium-term business plan that it intends to aggressively pursue a multi-platform strategy across PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, and PC platforms. I love the fact that now Xbox is firmly in this, and Phil Spencer's work over the last decade has finally paid off in fruition. And, Xbox gamers like myself are going to see these games now coming to Xbox, and it's great because for a long time, Xbox has been kind of glazed over by Square Enix when it came to their Final Fantasy franchises. And they've got the spin-off titles, but the mainline titles, the main entries, have kind of passed. I mean, even Pixel Remaster skipping wasn't raised an eyebrow, right? But I assume there's a reason there contractually from Sony. I mean, I can't think of anything else. But anyway, it says, instead of allowing select AAA games from its biggest series to be locked onto one system, i.e. the PS5, the company will look to build an environment where more customers can enjoy our titles. Now, clearly, this is something that Phil Spencer and Xbox have been pushing for a while because they want to maximize revenue. They want to be able to reach a wider audience so that wider audience can buy their games. It's why Xbox does day and day on PC, and they make a good amount of money, as long as the games are good, on PC through Steam. It then goes on to say the publisher will strive to maximize the acquisition of new users when launching a title that is of recurring users after starting management of game operation. It's all based on a plan incorporating 4 pillars: new initiatives for stability, enhancing productivity, diversifying earnings opportunities, and a balance between shareholder at return and growth investment. Because without that one, there's no money to make the game. So clearly, they're looking at prioritizing the shareholders and growth investment because clearly they're not making the money that they were promised, and the shareholders are now getting upset and really upset with PlayStation because they're not delivering. Collectively, the idea is to shift from quantity to quality and evolve to deliver a variety of contents that ensure fun all over the world. Now, what that means, I have no idea, but I'm just going to assume it just is saying instead of the fun being for PlayStation only, It's now going to be for PC players, which are the biggest market in the world, for the Nintendo Switch or Nintendo, whatever the platform it is that they're going to have by that point. In my opinion, they're the second biggest. Then you got PlayStation and then Xbox. But at the end of the day, the more people that have access to your game, the more money you're going to make. You're essentially making the game once and then porting that game to other platforms. And sure, there's optimization, there's porting costs, but it's not going to be anywhere near as high as building a new game for the first time. So a lot of that cost is diminished and reduced, and that port process is essentially the bulk of the cost, if not all the cost. And then you've got the optimization, which is part of the porting anyway. So in my opinion, this is a really good move from Square Enix and one that they should be happy about. For some time now, there's been no reliable formula for Square Enix releases, with its games launching on different combinations of platforms, sometimes based on exclusivity deals. Final Fantasy XVI first released on PS5, with a PC version expected in the future. The same can be said for Final Fantasy VII Remake project, though this year's rebirth may take a few years to hit the platform. Other times, the reasoning hasn't been quite as obvious. The original Octopath Traveler debuted on the Nintendo Switch and was later ported to PC and Xbox One. Its sequel then targeted PS5, PS4 alongside Switch and PC, but skipped Xbox platforms. Again, really strange what they're doing here. It's unlikely this change in strategy will affect business dealings already in place. Well, contracts are contracts, right? Such as the third installment for Final Fantasy VII Remake game. But I think after that third game is out, you can expect like a complete package of the game to come out on Xbox and the Switch too. But apart from them, it seems Square Enix games will be made available on as many gaming platforms as possible. And in my opinion, that is the way forward, and Square Enix really are doing the best thing for themselves as a business to reach as many customers as possible and maximize their profits, or at least give themselves the chance to maximize their profits in as many ways as possible. This is only a good thing. This is not a bad thing, and it's a shame it's taken Square Enix this long to realize this, but at the end of the day, at least they have. What do you think? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that discussion, and I'll see you in the next one. Remain legend.